Welcome to another episode of Uber Talks, where shooting the breeze is what we really like.
Well, I just put some gas in the car, and it's time to pick up Velmas. He has to be picked up at 7:30. All right, time to work.
You said, hey, can I buy you a drink? We'd only spoken once or twice. You're a rock star to be precise. I barely noticed you noticing me. I never thought about you seriously. You used to have a girlfriend, or so it seemed. It looked like true love to me. But out of the blue you appeared. You went down so fast.
Long day ahead, huh?
Yeah, you got that right, bro. How's your street, though? Been working nights at the steel factory for years now.
Night shifts? Man, must be tough. Does it get like creepy at times? Factories are pretty spooky when they are empty.
Oh, you have no idea. You know, I've seen things on my shifts that would make most people turn around and run.
Wait, what do you mean? Like weird stuff? Parole?
Yeah, exactly. You'd be surprised how many stories come out of places like factories, old buildings, lots of history. It kind of builds up over time, you know. I mean, most nights are just quiet, but then there are the nights when things get strange.
All right, now you got my attention. What kind of strange things are we talking about here?
Well, let's start with the footsteps. One of the first things I noticed after working there for a while, I'd be doing my rounds, and I'd hear heavy footsteps coming from areas where no one should be. I'd check, of course, but the place would be completely empty. At first, I thought it was the machinery cooling down or something. Metal can make weird noises, but this was different. These were deliberate human steps, slow and heavy.
Man, I'm getting goosebumps just hearing this. So, no one else around?
Nope. And the factory's huge, but the noise always felt close, like someone was just around the corner. Sometimes I call out, who's there? But no one ever answered. I gotten used to it by now, but it was unnerving at first.
That sounds intense. Did you ever see anything, or was it just sounds?
Oh, I have seen things too. There was one night, I'll never forget it. I was watching the security monitors in the control room. We got cameras everywhere. It was a slow night, and I was just zoning out, watching the feeds. When I saw something move on one of the screens at first, I thought it was a glitch, but then I looked closer. It was a figure, like a man, but just shadowy, no details. Just like a dark shape moving between the machines.
Come on, man. You can't be serious.
I swear, it was real. I watched it for a few seconds completely still. Just staring at the screen that it stopped, like it knew I was watching and it turned. That's when I freaked out a bit. I bolted down to the floor where I saw it, but by the time I got there, nothing. Just cool air and silence. But on the screen, it was clear as day.
You're telling me you saw a shadow figure on the camera, but when you got there, it was gone? That's straight out of a horror movie. Man, if I were you, I'd be out of there after that. How did you even keep calm in a place like that?
Honestly, I've thought about quitting more than a few times, but you're gonna get used to it after a while. I've become to believe that whatever is there doesn't mean any harm. It's like they're just going about their business, maybe old workers or something tied to the place, who knows?
That's one way to look at it, I guess. But still, it's gotta mess with your head, right? Like, if it is real, there is a whole other side to the world most of us don't see.
Yeah, exactly. I think night work makes you more aware of it too. It's quieter, your mind is sharper. You start noticing things that might not be there in the daylight. There is definitely more to this world than we see during the day.
I don't know if I could handle that. I've driven at night for years, and you hear some stories from people, but never anything like that. Glasnackham is driving by some old graveyards late at night. Sometimes you feel like you're being watched, but I just crank off the radio and keep driving.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. I mean, I don't think it's wise to dwell on these things too much. There is definitely stuff out there that we don't understand, but I don't think it's always bad. Sometimes it's just there, you know? You do your job and they do theirs, I guess.
That's a wild way to put it, but I get it. Have you ever talked to anyone about this? Like someone who knows about paranormal stuff?
Yeah, I've done it. And they say factories are hotspots for paranormal activity, especially if there's been accidents or tragedies there. This factory's old, been around since the 1950s. And you know how those places used to be. Lots of accidents over the years.
Yikes. So you think maybe it's the spirit of the people who work there?
Could be. I don't know for sure. All I know is that when I am there at night, I feel like I'm not alone. It's like the past is still hanging around, but it's not always bad. Sometimes it even feels comforting.
Comforting? That's a new one. I'd be running out of there if I saw half the stuff you've seen.
Yeah, well, I guess I've just learned to live with it. Keeps things interesting at least. The worst part about working at nights is the boredom. But not at this place.
Man, I don't think I'll look at factories the same way again. You got some guts to keep working back there.
Thanks. It's not for everyone, but I've been doing it long enough. Now it feels normal, maybe too normal. But hey, if you ever want to see something weird, just take a stroll through a factory at night. You might be surprised.
I think I'll pass on that, but I'll definitely be thinking about it the next time I drive by one at night.
Good. That's the best thing to do.
Well, here we are. Good luck in there, man. Stay safe.
Thanks. I'll be alright. Just another night in the factory. See you around.
Take care, Thomas, and watch your back.
You've been living the life you're expected to lead. Take it